Today we're diving into a fascinating topic. Things that have disappeared gradually over the last 20 years without people noticing. It's kind of like when you were a kid and your parents would mark your height on the wall every year. You wouldn't really notice yourself getting taller day by day, but then you look back at all the marks and you realize how much you've grown. Get ready for a healthy dose of nostalgia, a dash of existential pondering, and maybe even a sprinkle of "wait, that doesn't exist anymore." Let's get started. Remember when getting a fruit cup at a fast food restaurant meant actual, fruit, like little chunks of pineapple and maybe a strawberry or two? These days it seems like everything is artificially flavored and pumped full of high fructose corn syrup. When was the last time you saw a McDonald's apple pie that actually resembled an apple pie? Those things are basically fruit-flavored lava cakes now. It's like, at some point fast food chains just decided that real fruit was too much of a hassle. Much easier to just pump some artificial flavoring into a cup of corn syrup and call it a day. But you know what? I miss real fruit. I miss the tartness of a real strawberry, the juicy sweetness of a perfectly ripe peach. Remember when you used to go to the record store and spend hours agonizing over which CDs to buy? And then, after careful consideration, you'd shell out your hard-earned allowance for that shiny new greatest hits album? But like so many things from our childhood, the greatest hits album has gone the way of the dodo. And you know what killed it? Streaming. Why buy a whole album when you can just create a playlist of your favorite songs? It's hard to argue with the convenience and affordability of streaming services. But I can't help but feel a little nostalgic for the days when you had to put in some effort to discover new music. Remember owning things, like actually owning them? These days it seems like everything is a subscription. You don't buy music anymore, you subscribe to Spotify. You don't buy movies, you subscribe to Netflix. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the convenience of subscription services, but sometimes I wonder if we're trading long-term ownership for short-term convenience. What happens when you cancel your subscription? Do all those movies and songs just disappear into the ether? It's a complicated issue and I don't have all the answers. But I do think it's worth thinking about the long-term implications of living in a subscription-based society. Chapter 4. The Curious Case of Leelee Sobieski. Remember Leelee Sobieski? She was in everything back in the late 90s and early 2000s. She was in Deep Impact, she was in Eyes Wide Shut, she was even Joan of Arc in that mini-series. She was going to be the next big thing. And then she just kind of disappeared. I know, actors leave Hollywood all the time, they get tired of the spotlight, they want to pursue other passions, but there's something about Leelee Sobieski's disappearance that feels different. It's like she just vanished into thin air. I've done some digging, and it seems like she's living a relatively normal life now. She's married, she has kids, she makes art, and you know what? Good for her. It takes a lot of courage to walk away from the bright lights of Hollywood. But still, I can't help but wonder what might have been. What if she had stuck it out? What if she had become the next Meryl Streep? I guess we'll never know. Chapter 5. Remembering the humble ticket stub. Remember the feeling of anticipation as you tore your ticket stub at the movie theater? Or the satisfaction of adding a concert stub to your collection? These days, those little pieces of paper are becoming increasingly rare, replaced by the cold efficiency of digital tickets. I get it, digital tickets are convenient. You don't have to worry about losing them, you can easily share them with friends, and they save trees. But there was something special about holding a physical ticket in your hand, a tangible reminder of an experience you had. Digital tickets just don't have the same magic. They're ephemeral, easily deleted and forgotten. Remember the days when you could walk into a fast food restaurant and get a burger, fries, and a drink for under $5? Those days are long gone, my friends. The once mighty dollar menu has fallen victim to inflation, shrinking portion sizes, and the ever-increasing cost of, well, everything. What was once a staple of the fast food experience is now a distant memory, replaced by value menus with items that barely qualify as value. Sure, you can still find a few things for $1 or $2, but they're usually smaller, lower quality, and not nearly as satisfying as the dollar menu items of yore. I remember when you could get a double cheeseburger from McDonald's for $1. $1! These days, you're lucky to find a McChicken for that price. And don't even get me started on the fries. It's enough to make you want to swear off fast food altogether. But let's be real, sometimes you just need a greasy burger and some salty fries. Remember when a typical sitcom season had 20-something episodes? You know, back when you had to wait a whole week for a new episode and summer reruns were a thing? These days it seems like 10 episodes is the new normal, especially for streaming shows. And you know what? I'm not mad about it. Shorter seasons mean tighter writing, less filler, and more time for creators to focus on quality over quantity. Think about your favorite streaming shows. Stranger Things, The Crown, The Mandalorian, they're all incredibly well made, with each episode feeling like an event. So yeah, I'm gonna miss the days of marathon watching my favorite sitcoms all summer long. But I'm excited about the future of television. Remember when TVs used to be, square, like big bulky boxes that took up half your living room? These days you'd be hard-pressed to find a square TV outside of a thrift store. They've gone the way of the dinosaurs, replaced by sleek flat-screen TVs that are practically paper-thin. And you know what? Good riddance. I don't miss lugging those heavy beasts around, trying to find the perfect angle so the picture wasn't distorted. Flat-screen TVs are a marvel of modern technology. They're lightweight, energy-efficient, and offer a picture quality that would have blown our minds just a few decades ago. So yeah, I'm not going to shed any tears for the demise of the square TV. It's a relic of a bygone era. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more interesting content. What are some things you've noticed disappearing over the last 20 years? Let me know in the comments below. It makes you wonder what things we take for granted today will be gone 20 years from now. Flying cars, teleportation, the ability to eat a whole pizza without feeling guilty? Only time will tell. See you next time.